Ladies and gentlemen, flamethrowers all around the world. This is No Smack. Hey, hold up. It is Ernest E.J. Jones, aka Man of the Year. And I got a very special guest right here. I got a doctor right here. Go ahead and introduce yourself right quick and let the world know who you are.
I'm Dr. Tasha Mac. I'm the lead architect for the Identity Integration Institute. We decoded the identity integration that grief, life, transition disrupts in the structural layer that's been missing from the human development of performance and transformation.
Ooh, ooh. I don't even think y'all ready for this. This finna be something spectacular. This finna be something off the chain. It ain't even no chain. This finna be something monumental. If y'all not here for this, I'm telling y'all missing out. But let me go ahead and get into the motivational message. Then I'll let y'all know the topics. Today's motivational message, and I was explaining right before we went live. It's been this word that keep popping up. Consistency. I didn't hear this word until I met my big brother Lean. Shout out Hisville Lean. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know Lean don't play. Y'all know Lean don't play. You know what I'm saying? Lean, when I first started going to his studio, he was like, you gotta be consistent. You gotta be consistent. Like, every time we seen him, you gotta be consistent. What's up, Lean? You been consistent? What you talking about? You ain't been working on nothing? Ain't no new projects? Ain't nothing coming out? Ain't no new drops? So this word consistency has also been popping up at the place of work. It's been popping up in my craft, and it's also been popping up in my spiritual relationship with God. And I think that we all need to focus on consistency for whatever it is that we want, because without it, everything just fall apart. I don't know about you, but I just...
So this is a part of the work that we do. And this is a new science field. It's also a new interdisciplinary field, as I was explaining. So we have 7 different fields that focus on human development and performance, but none of them have been able to interconnect the structure there that sits beneath disruption. So now we're able to identify disruption before symptoms appear, right?
Yeah.
Before symptoms appear. That's
maintaining. That's maintenance.
It's before the symptoms appear. So we remove that mental health, that stigma, the labeling, the stigmatization of mental health illness. One person I definitely want to bring up is Greg Ellis. He has a new app, and his app is Get Me Help.
Give me help.
Get me help.
Oh, that's give me help. Ooh,
and it's all
that's
about.
Not even hard to remember. That give me help.
Give me help, and it's all about mental wellness is the strength. And I said I like that because you're not saying mental health, you're saying mental wellness, and it's a life enhancer. And so understand what you just said. You said, it's coming up. Consistency keep coming up. And the reason why the gentleman keep asking you, are you being consistent, is because there is structural layers that we have not been taught. There are things within us that where we have felt the incoherence and not understanding. We go through grief, we go through life, and we have transitions, and we're expected to keep performing at full capacity. And so what ends up happening is, I want y'all to understand that every external system is powered by a human being with an internal system.
Amen. That's how I feel.
Yeah, some people
Somebody
don't.
the boss.
Well, and then the fact that a lot of people don't understand like what is really going on and what is happening. Like we keep pointing at entities, and we're not really looking within. And it's hard to look within because we was just talking about this before we came on the show. Consistency is invisible.
Yeah.
And the consistency shows up in the action. So the consistency, a lot of times, is it's that awareness of knowing that I need to do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And you have to be consistent because you have to build up the endurance to be able to perform that action. Like, for example, today, I mean, I've been through a lot. I called Montana. I was like, Madam Montana, can we reschedule? I was on the couch with my son, and I was just like, and I text someone, and I said, I feel defeated. And I lay there, but I didn't lay there to fall asleep and miss. It was something in me that says, you know, you got to be consistent. You got to get up. Even in the midst of you feeling the way you feeling, you have to get up.
Yes,
because
yes, I love that.
you're making a commitment to be able to help to save people's lives.
I love that.
You have a team of people that is believing you in this season. So yes, the consistency is definitely key. Is key in the work. Because, and let me add another C to that consistency. Because consistency also is having the courage to begin again and again and again. So
yeah, for sure. You got to face defeat over and over and over, like for real. But look, before we cause we can really break it down, chop it up, like for real, we can give it to y'all like a butcher. You know what I'm saying? Put it all out on the table, package it up, and go and get to the next. And you know, there's a few businesses you could do like that, but you know. But look, as far as the topics, yes, I wanted to talk about, you know, fatherhood. We could discuss motherhood, and we wanted to also talk about, you know, what does it mean to be a man? What does it mean to be a woman? You know what I'm saying? Should the other sex be judging? Should the other sex be trying to tell you what it's like to be a man? What it's like to be a woman? And then the third thing for sure, being a black man, being a black woman. A lot of times they say it's not about, you know, color and race, but we all know there's a fine line between every single thing.
So the Reset Studios. Get ready. Look, just get ready for the reset.
Talk to us.
It's a movement, okay? It's a movement. So get ready for the reset. So the Reset Studios is about the stabilization and the leadership platforms that's designed to support the grief reset, because a lot of us is grieving. We reframe how we look at grief instead of grief just being from the typical loss, mourning, death, or the loss of health, financial.
Answer me this: how did you come about wanting to do something like this? Because to take on something like this, that is like such a big challenge. That is you looking the problem in the situation head on in the eyes and saying, okay, well, look, if it's happening to this person, that person, this person, there's got to be something going on.
And that's exactly what happened. EJ, you hit it right on the nose. So for 20 years,
20 years?
For over 20 years.
Jeez.
So it's been a pattern recognition. And so before becoming a doctor, before becoming a doctor, let me tell you, I was a coach before there was coaches. And so a part of...
Oh, that's why you was explaining and saying there needs to be more things for men and just, you know, needs to be more, you know, just platforms, groups, avenues.
Exactly.
20 years, I'm like, hold on. Because this should have been told to, like, this should be, like, really passed out in the libraries. This should be passed out in the public places. Like,
well, to think of, no, and I agree with you. However, when I developed the model, like, back in 2003, it was used for people in their businesses. However, technology, there was a lot of things that I needed that I did not have. And a lot of stuff that where we are today, it just... I'm going to say this, being consistent, I'm going to stick with your word. Being consistent is the key. Yeah. Because back then, 20 years, people did not understand what I was doing.
Right.
Now, people are feeling the disruption. They feeling the loss. They're feeling the fragmentation. It's a real situation.
Yeah, no, for real.
So for 20 years, 23 years, I have been sitting on this waiting for it to happen. But it had to happen within me first in order for me to do the work.
So what are some of the ways that you help people, and how do you find the disruptions? Because I see people that go to work every day, and I can tell you right now, I know a few of them. Oh, you got something going on. Like, I'm gonna pray for you. Come here, you want to play together? Look, let's get it together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the people you hang with, you can see their spirit of hate, their spirit of, even like you said, grief. And they're still grieving. You can see their periods of sadness. You can see their periods of happiness. And you'd be like, something like, dang, you've been grieving for like 2-3 years straight.
Can we talk about? But wait a minute. But can we talk about that? You brought a wait a minute.
We're gonna get in there. We're gonna get in there.
Okay, so
I was reading stuff, but I know you're gonna come how you're coming. So we're gonna go ahead and get in there. Like for real.
So no, honestly, and you know what? You are so right about this. So remember, I just said that we reframed how we looked at grief,
right.
And what we came to find is that grief is not only acute loss. We call it now the societal grief intrusion vectors. So there's 4. Can I break them down? Because you hit on them. I'm about to name them for you, so that people can. So you have acute loss, which is the typical loss of grief: losing someone, losing a home, losing a job, losing a child, and then you have your second, which a lot of people understand this. Multifunctional strain. Mom, sister, daughter, grandmother. It's one person. But then you go out here into these external systems and you a customer service, a manager, a supervisor. You're doing things in the church. You're doing things in all these community activities. So you have all these labels, and so you're stretched. The third one is the moral obligation. You have people who feel like they have a moral obligation to a particular group, a particular race, or a particular cause. And then you have the fourth one, the collective systematic. So those are now the 4 grief. And let me tell you how we discovered these 4 griefs, because a lot of people have misunderstood grief. How grief came about, I say back in 1950s is probably about as far, and I'm sure it goes back to the inception at the beginning of time, because that's how far our research go. However, it started off with Dr. Elizabeth Kolber-Ross, and she's from Australia, and her studies of grief, it was for the terminally ill. So a lot of people know grief from the 5 stages of grief. Those 5 stages of grief is based on emotions. However, what we discover, she only observed the terminally ill. What happened was people was not talking about death. People was not talking about grief. So they ran with it and made it prescriptive for the living. So people are really, if you look up the map of consciousness, grief is 3rd dimensional. Okay? So that's why people are feeling what they feeling, because they're tied into an emotion. What we discovered was grief for the living. There was no research. There was no study that went deeper than hers with the terminally ill. And so even though she did get pushed back from the science community, other doctors, other people in mental health, because guess what? Grief as an emotion is linear. It don't affect people the same way. But grief for the living, that's the conversation that we're talking about, what you brought up. And that's because it's structural. And when we say structural, meaning that there are things that was never discovered until now. And we did that. And I'm so proud of the work that we have done at the Reset Studios.
I knew that there was a problem in society when...
When?
No, seriously, no, look, I'm going to break it down to you.
Okay.
I knew that there was a problem in society when I saw gangbangers crying over people getting killed or family members just dying. Mm-hmm. I said, y'all some of the hardest people in society. Mm-hmm. But y'all haven't figured out how to deal with grief. You haven't figured out how to deal with, the understanding of death. You take a life, but you don't want the lives around you to be taken. And it's like you don't prepare yourself. Like, anybody could die around you. People could die around you like today, tomorrow, tonight, And it's like some of the hardest gangsters out there, they be breaking down. Like, you're like, jeez, I ain't never seen that person cry.
Because it's structural. It's structural.
His fault though. Like that was his fault. Like he was with him every day. Like it be like that.
It's structural. There is layers in that. Mm-hmm. that person received something that wasn't there before. Right. And for that to be taken away is like a part of them mm-hmm. that becomes missing. And what grief does, and you're right. Like, we have not been taught how to integrate grief into our life living. We haven't until now. And it's through stabilization. And I'm not going to really go into depth with that, because that's more of training and education. But we can integrate grief into our life
I feel like one of the best ways, and I was just learning, and it was, I feel like we got to start looking like at some of the other cultures, because Mexicans do Day of the Dead, you know, and it's like, oh, a lot of people see that, oh, they walk around in skeletons, they doing this, they doing crazy stuff, but then you see like the older like Mexican people, that's the time where they worshiping, you know, the shrines of the people of their loved ones, you know, and it's like, I just feel like, especially in my culture, in the culture I live in, you know what I'm saying, for young black men and our families and what we got going on, we just got to find a better way to introduce like ways to cope with grief.
I don't think it's not one particular group. I'm gonna tell you that now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not one particular group.
For sure.
People
are
trying.
For sure.
This is what it is. People are trying to keep performing after life, after leadership lost, trauma, pressure, burnout, right, or transition has disrupted. Right. We have never been taught how to stabilize those layers underneath, and it's not race-based at all. No one has been taught. Now, what I will say, and I was sharing this with Montana, is that one thing or two things that we all have in common that you can't separate is the experiences and the emotions.
Right.
But what I like about what Greg Ellis and what he's doing with Get Me Help in the mental wellness is understanding the epigenetics. But like I told him, that's like just a small fraction. And epigenetics looks at your history and what was coded into your genes. But what we know is, even though there may have been trauma from your past and you could have inherited, you do have the power to change the genetics through consistency, and I'm using that word,
right?
Because and let me break this down, because y'all probably looking at me and thinking like, oh, she's a doctor, she don't know. I'm gonna break this down. I come from the hood, okay? Grew up in the projects. I witnessed people getting killed, so I understand where you coming from. But what your mentor or the men in your life is trying to tell you is that you have to be consistent. If you are consistent, and as well as when it comes to epigenetics, you do not have to subject yourself to the trauma from your past.
But it's like you had said earlier, that's one of the traumas where they what was the traumas you had? 4 traumas you were saying? That's the
societal vectors, the grief.
What was the next one? The grief, 4 stages? Or?
The 4 types of grief, which was acute, multifunctional, moral obligation.
That one, boom.
Moral obligation.
Oh my God. Oh, oof.
If that's your lesion, is to be in that type of environment.
A lot of people are like
you
that. You
are coding.
Yeah.
You're coding your epigenetics.
Yeah. But some people do it unwittingly and not knowing what they're doing. I done seen people who say that they can't stand their family, they hate their family, but then they done grew up and live just like their family. I done seen people who said they hate doing this, hate doing that, and judge other people, but then when you pull back and you look, it's like, but you took on the task to do it. You know what I mean? So, with their moral obligation, I feel like that alone, what are the ways you would battle that? If somebody came to you and they was stressing and they were speaking on, just say, them feeling like they had to be the leader of their family, or they had to be the leader of, you know, their group of friends, or, you know, just a simple moral obligation, but it's like, you don't even need to take on that responsibility. How would you battle something like that? Like a person who wants to be that leader, or who wants to be that, like you ever had that one family member who feel like they gotta take on the responsibilities of everything, but nobody asked that person to do nothing. Nobody ever called that family member and told them to put nothing together, but that family member feel like, oh well, it's on me, and I ain't never seen nobody putting up money. Like, that's one of those moral obligations where I feel like you stressing yourself. Like, for real. Like, I know you've done seen people like that, though. So I would ask, how would you deal with something like that?
I dealt with that myself. felt like I morally obligated to help bring people along, help expose people to a different environment, a different way of living. Yeah, we all have. There's no one that is exempt. Even the billionaires had a moral obligation. We seeing it right now. Moral obligations to one particular group of people and stuff like that. My thing is, who are you? I'll go back to what we used to say in the old day. You ain't Captain Save a Hoe.
Amen. But
I mean,
but
I'm a doctor. I can't say it. No, I'm gonna keep it all the way real. Before the end of the day, I'm Coach Tasha Mac. So I mean, I'm just gonna keep it all the way real. Cause I mean, I had to have the hard reality when I was going through what I was going. It was like, who told you to do it? But that's the part.
That's what I'm saying. So,
but you feel like you had to because it's been programmed, and it's been programmed not by anybody but yourself, and because you feel like you want to be of help. But that is also a survival adaptation or a survival intelligence that that's just come from your environment. So when you, like, how do you fix that? You change your environment, you change the people. And sometimes doing that is hard for people because you feel like you're alone. But let me tell you something. You talk about God, you talk about spirit. I hate when people weaponize him because you really don't know who he is. Because if you knew who he was, you wouldn't be out here just senselessly killing each other and then crying over the person that you murdered, knowing that there's retaliation because the law says karma comes after you.
Amen.
So at the end of the day,
that's how I feel. But it's like, but in the situations, it'd be like,
no, there is no situation. It's plenty of people that have made it. It's plenty of people who have made it out of those circumstances, who have made it out of those situations.
Right.
I am one of those people. Amen. I know people. I have seen people die. I have seen people incarcerated. I have a sister right now who murdered a man, but she was saving her life. But in the midst of that, hey, it was the life that you chose, and it was everything that you got away with, and it just caught up with you. And you cannot be mad at how things happen. Yep. And in certain situations, I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer that there are sacrifices. There are sacrifices from a higher power, God. I don't know what y'all believe, but I know that there is a higher power. Thanks. And sometimes those things happen. Why? To get your attention.
Okay.
So if you stay in that situation, you stay in that situation. But stabilization is what the key, and that's the problem that we focus on. The solution, since you want to talk about a particular community, is to help those people identify what has been disrupted, relieve that structure layer, and then also to help them to regain the stability and be able to move forward so they can have sustainable performance and transformation at the same time. But once again, it has to be consistent. You have to want to see yourself in a different type of lifestyle, a different type of way of living.
But this is also why I say situations. And because I know as a doctor, doing all the research in which that you've done, there's always this set of people that feel that they're entitled, or there's this set of people that don't know how to, like you was speaking on, they don't know how to deal with the grief of being in the streets. Then you have those people who feel like they have to take on the responsibility of a lot of things that nobody told them to do, asked them to do. So, after all the research and putting all that together, how do you go about? Because this is why I keep asking about how do you go about the different traumas, different pains, the different solutions? Because I see a lot of times, like you said, people try to categorize things where it may seem as that is exactly what I'm doing, but it's like when you get in that category, how do you break down that element of, we have this person who can't deal with grief, how do we help them deal with it? How do we
in the Recess Studios, in the Recess Studios, we have a clear pathway
Okay.
We have
Okay.
clear
Talk to me.
pathway.
Yes,
We got the
ma'am.
grief
Talk to me.
reset. We have the grief reset, and then part of the human development that has been missing is that stabilization
Right.
piece.
Right.
So in a grief reset, like I said, we have reframed what grief look like. So we don't do your typical counseling or therapy because
Okay. Talk
it's
to me.
non-clinical for
Okay.
one thing. So we have a clear pathway instead of just leaving you there trying to figure it
There
out
we
alone.
go. There
And
we
that's
go.
the
There
problem
we go.
is people go to therapy, they go and they talk, but they're looking for a solution. They're looking for a way out. And we have not had a solution until now. And because I'm a solution oriented, but I'm also a non-bullshitter, so I'm just going to keep it all the way real. I don't got time to be soaking up in victimhood. I don't have time to be
Even with that, I feel like that's a stage of some sort of delusion because there are winners and then there are losers. There are no in betweens. If you know what I mean. That's it. That's it. You either gonna win or you're gonna lose.
which one are you gonna be
Like,
consistent
for real,
at?
for real.
You got
Like,
many.
for real, for
You got
real.
many people that is consistent and comfortable, and comfortable being losers. Because that's exactly what it is. It's very few of us that are consistent in actually wanting something better for ourselves. So, victimhood, I'll say, and I'll just speak to this. From our group of people, we spend too much time in victimhood. We spend too much pointing a finger at something. I tell people, I'm gonna keep it all the way real. Look, you got me banging my hand. You know it's about to get real when you go like this. Like, what's up? Okay, keep it cute.
Oh,
T.
hello. Y'all need to tap in those smack because we live. We just we say we don't play. We gonna say the other lyrics for another day. Drink that do say cause we don't play. Okay? Wait. All right. I love where this is going. Because I also do feel like a lot of men feel like, and a lot of, again, I can only speak on where I come from and the things that I've been through. I don't have no wife.
So let me ask you this: How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 32. I'm
Okay,
30
32.
and a deuce 32.
Okay.
What? Talk to me.
Okay.
Say what you got to say. I know how I look, how I dress.
No.
Say what you got to say. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not your average 32-year-old young man. You know, and it's an honor and a privilege for other 32-year-old men to get next to me. I motivate a lot of people out here.
Oh no, I never. Let me tell you something. I will never judge a book by its cover. First and foremost, because that little boy over there, he helped me make it through near-death experiences.
Amen.
And when I needed prayer, I asked him.
Crazy. You said that. I told my big homie, I said, big homie, why don't you put him on the cover? I said, but you should have looked at the cover 2-3 times, big homie.
Right now, we already see.
Sometimes you gotta look at the cover 2. Come on now, I'm not trying to be funny.
Sometimes, not only looking at the cover, sometimes you gotta open up the book.
Yeah, you do. For real. Get that. I don't know who came up with that. Some lame motherfucker that wasn't had no action, no play, or no nothing going on. They like, oh yeah, you got about a car. Shit. How you judge the car you got? How you judge your house you got? How do you judge? And there's another thing I was going to talk about too. Like,
but I get our work gets under what people can't see.
You know one of my biggest
I don't care nothing about that.
Look, you know one of my biggest griefs is?
What?
You are in charge of your own actions. You are in charge of your own attitude. I go to work and I walk in that motherfucker like this. But as soon as I get I be like, hey, everybody, how y'all doing? Let's go get ready for work. Let's stretch. All right, let's go see friend. Let's go get something to eat. How y'all doing? You doing okay? Hey, mama, it's all right. Yeah, let's get to it. And I tell them that too. If you want to move up and if you want better in life, you got to control and maintain your own attitude. Stay consistent on finding your own happiness. Stay consistent on finding your own pleasures in life. Your own route to some money in life. I could put you on though. Don't even trip. You call Jizzle, call me. I'm gonna get you right. I'm gonna put you on some plays. You already know. But still, you should be trying to find your own route to some money. Your own route to your own business and dreams, aspirations. It's people out there who feel like, oh well, damn, my kinfolk got something going on. Yeah, he gonna put me on too. Shit, and you be like, damn, what you done dropped last 6 months? Nothing. Nigga, you finna do the same something last year? oh, you finna freeload on bro show, and it's like you ain't doing no work. So it's like a lot of times some people do feel like they gotta bring their friends along, bring the people that are around them along. And I heard you mention that earlier.
Ask MC Hammer.
Yeah.
Ask MC Hammer.
Oh, I don't need to ask him because I used to work at the 7-Eleven one day, and the NC come through. I said, yo, that's MC. I said, hey. I said, hey, NC Hammer. I said,
he came through with a whole entourage.
I said, that's NC Hammer. They said, who? Everybody remember who? I said, y'all, whatever, bro. So I went to the register. I'm sitting on that motherfucker. I'm about to bring him up. You know what I'm saying? All 30 people. Ding, 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 ding. Ain't nothing wrong with MC Hammer money. We better learn to mind our motherfucking business. Ain't nothing wrong with the money. Dude put out a fat water. I'm talking about.
Before they was walking around with.
And I'm talking about, this was just, I worked at 7-Eleven. This just had to be like 4 years ago, 5 years ago maybe. Right before the pandemic. Like 2019, like 2020. It like right before that motherfucker. I said, damn, that NC Hammer. I said, boy, I thought you were bro. I swear on everything I love. I said, boy, I thought you were bro. When he came up there, he got like a water or some more juice and walked off. He said, everybody good. 30 of them he came back and paid for everybody. I bullshit you now. I'm not gonna talk about that man.
He's always been
that man got money.
No, but in the beginning he lost a lot of his wealth, and he do talk about that. So he learned.
I could imagine.
This is the thing. He learned from his lessons. Yeah. He got wiser,
as you
and
should.
He elevated his circles.
As you should. Always learn from your lessons for sure.
He elevated his circles. So and that was the key. And my thing is, when you know better, you do better.
You think so?
When you know better, you better.
Think so?
Oh yeah,
I know a group of people who do know better and don't be. Come on now, don't play with me. You know.
Look, I'm telling you. From where I came from to where I'm at, and when I was going through my near-death experience, and wasn't nobody checking for me, wasn't nobody ask. It was okay when you on yachts. It's okay when you flying and you going places. But when you hit on hard times,
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm a grown man,
and when
I done helped people, I done carried people, I done done some things for some folk that I'll never do for me. But I knew when I did it, I shouldn't have did it. I knew when I gave out that blessing, I wasn't worried if it came back or not. But it's the principle. No, but it's the principle. It's the understanding of, I looked out for you, should have just, come back to me, even with the same respect to say, hey, look, I won't even got it.
You know how I look at that. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about that, because I've always, and I'm going to always be a cheerful giver. But I'm going to tell you, there's a way in how you be a cheerful giver.
Right.
And your seeds that you sow, you need to make sure that you sowing those seeds in good soil. Right. And so what I mean by that was I was not sowing my seed, and it hurt to know that the relations that I had, that I wanted to come along, that I was not planting my seeds in good soil, so they could not. There was no harvest for me when I fell on hard times, and when I needed help, my help didn't come from those relations. Right now, where I am today, the people that I have, whether it's the millionaires, the billionaires, whether it's the celebrities or whoever the case may be, look nothing like my past. So my thing about it is, if you want good in life, you have to be consistent in elevating and understanding who you are. And a part of that, because even when you get to that level of status, you still have some disruption. I hear the story all the time. I got celebrity clients that I see. They have problems all the time. One person I want to get is Ray J, but I think Ray J playing, but I will kick Ray J's ass. Excuse my French. I can talk this shit on this show. But I'm just saying. I can be cute. Go check me out on the red carpet. So I'm just saying. But I'm just saying, like, you really have to elevate yourself. And when people are doing things that is not accustomed to the way they used to live, those are people that are in a identity fraud. It's identity fragmentation, or it's identity fracture.
Get out of that?
They have to want it. I don't help nobody do anything that they don't want to do. Let me just say that. I don't do anything that anybody don't want the help to do. Because you just said it. You're in control of your actions and your behavior.
That's how I feel.
So I was in control of my actions and behavior because there was ill emotions when I went through losing, mad, anger, frustrated,
So,
wanting to call
this-
people. But I could not do that. I
Doctor,
took the
look.
time to help people so they did not have to go through what I went through, so that they can understand that stabilization is what was missing. And once you
Right.
get that stabilization, what people do don't affect you at all.
This is why I asked these questions that I asked. I'm sitting in the doctor office. I done scheduled my own doctor. I done been a big boy my whole life, and I done finally figured out how to schedule the doctor. Bing, bing. It's all on the little credit, on the little, medical stuff. It's all good. I ain't got I get back to see the doctor. I'm checking it by. Before I go see the doctor, I'm checking it by. I'm checking that by. Oh, yeah, this how ain't been sleeping. No, ain't been hungry. No, not really. Been sitting alone? A lot alone. Okay. Been not really drinking no water? No. Been, okay. I get back there. I see my doctor. My doctor said, baby, how you been feeling? I said, doctor, I'm good. You good? I'm good. She said, oh, okay. She said, are you depressed? I said, shit, why would you ask me that? She's like, everything you checked on this paper indicates you are depressed, baby. I say, no, doctor, because this is why I'm asking you this stuff. Hold on. Because you say we have to want the help first, right? She say, baby, everything you checked on this paper indicates that you are depressed. But she say, do you feel depressed? I said, no, you're not going to put that on me, doctor.
And you shouldn't.
No, I said, you're not going to put that on me. But then, after I seen my doctor, over the course of 1 year, some shit had happened in my whole freaking life. My best friend, she saw me. She said, best friend, you been a job to job for the last year straight. You ain't been keeping no job longer than 7 months. She said, baby, you depressed. She said, this is not the EJ we know. EJ we know is consistent. The EJ we know work jobs 2, 3, 4 years at a time. The EJ we know gonna get some money. I broke down crying. Because a person that's my best friend that don't even see me every day. We see each other like, I bullshit you not, maybe 6 months at a time. She said, best friend, you put on a good front. But are you depressed? That's the second time that question had come up. So now I'm like, boom, hold on, wait a minute, hold on. My doctor asked, and I'm not even gonna explain no situation, cause it's just about me. I'm just like, damn, I don't give a damn if this person didn't see it or that person didn't see it. Ain't no crazy. My brother so asked me the same thing too. He said, bro, damn, I said, like, you so active when you get off of work. I said, nigga, I go to work every day of my life to take care of my kids. Nigga, and I was adopted, bro. And I can't understand why my parents do the same thing for me. I have an obligation to get this money and take care of my kids. Fuck what anybody talking about.
Right.
Shout out Montana. She said, still get them babies and figure that out. No, for real. And it's been hard. But I feel like I have that obligation as a man. That's why I told you I wanted to talk about being a man, because I'm a different 32-year-old young man. I feel like I have that obligation to take care of my young ladies. I may not have $900 a month to throw at them. But when they with me, they good, they fed, they taken care of, they got baths, they got toys, they got new clothes, they got fresh clothes, they good. They playing, they on their cell phones, and everything is good. But it do feel like there's a weight on me. But even another thing too, I be so prideful to say, okay, well, I do need some help. I do probably should go talk to somebody, because this is a lot on me. But I also speak about being functional, because that's why I told you earlier. I work with people and I can look at them and tell, oh, ooh, I know you're going through something. The way you looking at me right now, I look at my employees. It's like 30, 40 people up under me. I'm a supervisor. I'm a big dog, But I can tell when somebody not right, and I tell it to my counterparts. Like, hey, y'all, look, if that person not right, y'all gotta peep that. Because that person good, they gonna work good. That person not doing good, something wrong
underneath, and you gotta see it. And that's where we come in as far
And that's
as
where
the
my best friend
solution.
came in at.
And that's where we come in as a solution, because not everybody want that stigmatism and the
that something's wrong with me. That I may need this help. I don't want to come tell you this.
The thing is, you
know what I'm saying?
you picked it up. You used like, I'm a high functioning individual, and you said I'm carrying the weight, and that's what we're about. Is people who high functioning. They feeling the weight. They feeling the burnout. They're feeling the fatigue. Some are already in disruptive situations. Now they're feeling the collapse of the whole world. Some people are suicide ideation, and yet psychiatrists and people in the mental health, they said depression is a state of being, but no one has been taught, not even them, about stabilization.
20 years ago,
stabilization is one of those things that have not been talked about.
Right.
And so that's what the Reset Studios is like. No, we're about to reset. We about to reset. We about to educate. We about to empower. We about to enlighten people on what it is, why you going through what it is that you're going through,
and how to get through it,
and how to get through it, because we got the different pathways to be able to show you. So you can follow me on IG at I am Coach Tasha Mac. I am not Look, I am not an IG person, okay? But I put a lot of content and information. I put information out there.
What's the information about the event? Because I know we were talking about
the information.
So what's the information about the event?
So you want to talk about manhood? You want to talk about manhood? It's called the Kingsman Reign, and the Kingsman Reign.
I thought that was my vibe the whole time, because us men.
And all
feeling some type of way.
You know what? This is the thing. Me and my tenant had this question. We had this conversation before, and she was, yes, we did. And I know it's pre-Father's Day, but it's an event for all men, because y'all don't have a sacred space to be able to have conversations.
Can you say that one more time, please? Can I get a bell? Shit. Yes.
You want to get that?
Please say it one more time, please. Ooh.
Men do not have the sacred place like women. And then I'm sick and tired of men telling me that I cannot speak to a man, but a man can speak to a woman and feed them all this stuff that they don't even understand why men do what they do.
Oh, I'm here for it. I'm here for all that.
And my thing is, I don't care who you are. If you're homeless, my son will tell you, I will talk to a complete stranger.
Yeah.
It don't matter. I speak to the king and the man.
Okay.
Because greater I am that is within you. And so my thing is, if we don't have strong men, then we don't have strong families. We don't have strong children. We don't have strong leadership. We don't have strong communities. We don't have strong businesses. We don't have strong economy. We are going through and we are seeing the effects of what disruption looks like on every level. It don't matter what race, creed, and what you're doing. And so the thing about it is, Kingsman Reign is very important. It's about restoring that brotherhood. It's about restoring the masculinity. It's about going back to when men dressed appropriately. It's about when men had an image that they protected being who they are and understanding. We have gotten away from the identity of who we truly are within and taking on what, this is what this person do, so I'm going to do this. And it's all been destructive to who you are within, because it breaks. Yes, it does. Let me tell you something. The way you look, the way you smell, the way you dress, it has an impact on you as well. What you do, how you do, who you do it for, it has an impact on you. Your behavior, your actions, it has an impact on you. Your past, your present, how you see yourself in the future. Let me give you some lessons.
Say that. Don't judge a book by its cover. You a damn lie.
Damn lie. Let me give y'all some life. Let me give you a life lesson. I'm gonna tell you how you judge. I don't judge people. This is, somebody gave me this. A friend of mine gave me this, Deshaun, years ago. And he said, Tasha, this is how you determine how you place people in your life. And he said two things. A person come into your life to either create a problem or solve a problem.
Amen.
Ask yourself, how does that person have you feeling, thinking? What do they have you becoming? And where do they have you going?
Yeah.
Based off of how you answer those questions, they're either creating a problem or they're either solving a problem. When I come across somebody and something is not right and they make me feel a certain type of way, that feeling you can't change.
That friend that always needs some help. always going through it. I always want some money. I always need this. Like, bro, you create a problem, bro. Like,
It creates a problem. So the Kingsman reign is all about restoring
beautiful.
the man and getting him the brotherhood, the solutions. So you use a 32-year-old, use a young man first and foremost. Use a young man. You have 2 daughters, is what I heard, right? You got 3 daughters,
queens.
and you raising them by yourself. Or
we ain't gonna talk about that. But
okay, but you got 3 daughters.
I'm raising my babies, goddamn.
Okay, you raising them. That's the only thing that matter. You are in your children's life, but you need that brotherhood. What does show me your circle, and I'll show you what your life is gonna be like. I ain't never been wrong. I feel like I'm a prophet, and I don't even want to call myself that. I haven't been wrong yet, but and I'm just keeping it all the way real. Even
brothers, tighten up.
Tighten up. You talking to a woman who lost a son. And it was the environment. It wasn't him, but I kept telling him, it's not you.
Right.
It's the environment.
Right.
It's the people. Once again, his moral obligation is, those are my cousin. But that's not how I raised you.
Yeah. Shout out my
No,
sister.
he didn't. No, it wasn't.
Lady T, she always say, pay attention to your surroundings.
Pay attention to your surroundings.
Because them surroundings that you are in could cost you your life.
But this is the thing. It wasn't in this incident. It had nothing to do with his surrounding, but he had more a calling on his life, and his life, that his life was my life.
Yes.
So when he left, he brought me back the scrolls. You missed it, but I'll leave it at that. He brought me back the scrolls. He had to die. The way he died, I can't question that. But he was driving. And that was that. Now, what happened afterwards is where all this work got started. And it didn't happen from his death, because I didn't have to grieve his death, because I did everything right as a parent. I did everything right as a person to give him the life. But I also was in alignment to understand that do not let this cause you to die, because grief can kill you. People are walking around like walking dead. Just think about it.
And grief can also motivate you.
And grief can also motivate you.
Other traditions do different things for grief, because you just spoke.
They go inward though.
But I'm saying that's how you just spoke on grief. You didn't allow it to pull you down. You allowed it to motivate you. You allowed it to make you stronger. You said it brought you the scrolls. Look, I'm definitely tapped in with you.
Gotcha.
I definitely understand what you're saying. You definitely put it on the table like a puzzle. We're going to piece it all together, make a big picture about it. But yes, it had to happen, and I feel like sometimes it's crazy how you say that, because some shit that happened in my life, and I feel like it had happened. But I would have never imagined it happened, because I gave my life for what I had. I gave my life for what I built. I would have never changed it for nothing. No, for real. Go through what you go through, but I would have never changed it for nothing.
You cannot change. Everything that's had happened is a part of your blueprint. It's already written. It's already stated. So I feel like it's already ordained.
I feel like how you feel. It had to happen, but had I wrote the story, it would have been a one and done. For real. Would have been a one and done. It ain't no retake, 2 take, 3 take, Jake. No, it would have been a one and done. And that's would have been it. Family, kids, white picket house, fence and stuff, all that little dog roof,
But you got a calling. You already said it. You motivate a lot of people, and you're in a leadership position.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
your thing is don't judge me for this.
Right.
Like, you understand your identity, you understand the
right.
way of the world. And so what I see is like Kingsman Reign, it brings together through that brotherhood. It comes through the leadership development.
There was an event.
There is an event that is next Saturday. Next Saturday is a pre-Father's Day, but it's for the brotherhood.
Okay.
It's for the leaders. It's for the community. It's for individuals who are ready to connect with influential people that are in the industry. These are people that's behind the scene. However, they work with a lot of A-list celebrities. 20th? It's the 20th, June the 20th.
June the 20th. My brothers, June the 20th.
And so the theme is cigars and fedoras. It is a red carpet event because we do have one of the Grammys board of directors that will be in town. We also have Franklin Myrtle, who is one of the top models. His mom was the first black woman, Haitian woman, to work for Gucci, and he has he's connected to a lot of
Gucci.
Gucci, the designer,
not the
Gucci. Yes.
Come on now,
and so he will be in. So for those individuals,
don't play. I get dapper now. Don't
that like cigars.
I get dapper, like for real.
Yes. EJ, let me finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's cigars and fedoras. It is for those that are ready. So it is dressed to impress. We will have a red carpet host that will be there to interview so that people can give their statements and give their stories about manhood just in general. We do have some veterans, so we are looking for veterans to come out. And this event, like I said, is dressed to impress.
Yes.
So it is at the Vault in Mansfield. And so it is red carpet ready, and we can claim that because we are who we are in the industry.
Amen.
And we are wanting to bring a different type of level of business networking and opportunities here in Texas, with so much that's happening and transpiring as far as new businesses and the type of people that is the surroundings is cigars and fedoras and those type of settings. So it is a very upscale. Tickets are $125, and I know people are like, I'm not paying $125.
We're not worried
Let me tell you, we're not worried about you
at
all. This is, once again, it's for the elite. You can go to I Am Coach Tasha Mac on IG. You can go to Kingsman Reign, REIGN. Let me tell you what REIGN means. REIGN is reset, excellence, integrity, growth, and the nobility.
Amen.
Okay, so that's what we're about. We're about creating. So we need the men. We need the men that are leaders, and then we need the man like yourself that is having to carry the weight, to hear from other men on how to make that weight easier. And that's how we come together. We are going to have conferences for the men, and then we will have conferences for the women too under the Reset Studios.
Right.
We are a holistic organization. We believe in community. This is something that we had at one point, but it was all funded through the government. Now it's going to be funded by the people. It's going to be funded by investors, and it is for those working class individuals, because there was no resources when I was going through what I was going through. I tell people, me and Teron Davis, NFL player, me and him was talking, and he was talking about how broke and homeless he was. I said, you BH, and I said I was bougie and homeless. He was like, wait a minute, hold up. He was like, no, I'm bougie and homeless too, because I was in my Hummer. I was like, okay, we was in the BMW. I said, it is different levels to this, so don't mistake somebody and change. You said, you don't know my story, so when you try to say, like, are you judging me? No, you was judging me. I peeped you before you peeped me. Y'all notice that? T-Mac got it all the way together. Look, remove that DR and give me to the coach so I can read it. So, but no, but seriously, we was having that conversation. And so it was me and him at first, and my girl TJ. And then he called me. I sent him something. He said, Tasha, he was like, I'm really loving this reset. He was like, we need to get T-shirts made. We need to get this stuff made. Like, we need to go, like, for real. So we set up a meeting, and today we had we talked with Coach Earl Rose that's out here now. He has a facility where he does youth Fundamentals 52. Beautiful. Look that up. He got the NFL. Beautiful. And then we got Greg Ellis, who's doing the app. Get me help, which is help. Look, it's mental wellness. It's a journal. It's great things. Go to I Am Coach Tasha Mac, and it's MAC. And yes, I am the real Coach Tasha Mac. I know Wendy Raquel. Wendy Raquel's like, oh, it's a Coach Tasha Mac friend. It's like, oh yeah. I had to tell her. I said, tell Wendy Raquel, eventually we will meet. But the whole thing is we curate experiences around luxury for the man, because you have to feel like royalty to up your game, to step your game. And we want to change that mindset for those that are ready for that. And I'm telling you, it's a good look in the impact that you will have, because people is all about transformation now, but they want to see transformation where you're connected to a brotherhood purpose and leadership, wellness, and then the legacy. What is the legacy that you're going to leave behind for your daughters, and the men that's going to come in their life? So you want to be what you want your daughters to be. And so I ain't judging nobody at all. But at the end of the day, even when I went through what I went through, I had to tell my son, as a woman and what I went through, I am emotional. I had to talk to my son. And a lot of women don't talk. We don't talk to our kids about our experiences and what we go through. And so Kingsman Reign is about honoring men, but it's us coming out to celebrate that we finally have something that is authentic. The foundation is being built by men, but you got your cheerleader, you got your coach, and you got your critic. And guess what? It's a non-judgmental zone. So some conversations we are going to have in private. I have friends who were sexually assaulted, and they thought because of what they had been through that was the way they were supposed to be, and so they just stayed in the LGBT community, but internally they are broken. Internally they are sad. And so I work with them. I have helped plenty of men to get out of that lifestyle. Unfortunately, I'm proud of them for what they have done, and I understand they had to cut their ties with me too. And a part of that help, sometimes you end up, because they're good now. They're good.
Yeah, and so, it makes sense. When the business done.
It's done because I knew them in that lifestyle, and it no longer serves them. So, and I get it, because I will be a constant reminder.
Right, of what the past was.
What the past was.
And that makes sense too, though. It's just business sometimes. Yes. Sometimes it don't even be personal.
Yes. Sometimes so it's more than socks. It's more than the socks experience, because we're giving you that luxurious experience. So the VIP tickets is $125.
Yes, I love that.
And we're gonna be out there next. Kingsman Reign.
Yes,
Kingsman Reign. The colors blue and colors 20th, June 20th. Yes. And you go to kingsmanreign.com. It'll take you directly to the invite, right? Okay. So we're looking for those business leaders. We're looking for those prominent people. You can buy a table, but it don't come with a bottle, because it's not that type of environment. It's for the atmosphere, the people you're going to be networking with, and then the opportunity to be plugged into some real actionable organizations and community events that's coming up for 2027. So I just want to tell you, thank you so much, EJ, for having me. Yes,
thank you for coming. Seriously, thank you for coming, because this was a great experience. And for everybody who taps in and who have tapped in, this is an open discussion show.
Okay.
This is one of the shows where we're going to go to the edge. We're going to spin around it. We're not going to jump off, but we're going to be real close to it. We're going to spin right there on the edge. We're going to tangle right on that thing. I don't know if y'all ever tangled, but I tangled when I was younger, and we're going to do it.
Did I tangle with him? I think I hung in the rain. I think I got him. 1, 2, right?
You try, yes. It was a great experience, though, because I do feel like men do need this opportunity.
They do, and I've created it.
We need this opportunity. I'm not playing here. It's nothing to even downplay.
Nah.
Men need the opportunity. And you know what's crazy? This whole time we talking, we conversing, we having this, we looking at each other, I'm looking at you, you looking at me, we talking, bells being ringing, all this time going by. And I'm thinking to myself, the difference between me and a lot of people that you haven't worked with versus the people you have worked with, be that they haven't had the opportunity to meet someone like you.
And I'm gonna tell you, I had to go through the experience of what it was meant for me to get in this season. And I've been released to do the work. My team is ready. Yes. And so now it's time to I always say, get connected and stay connected.
Thank you. I love that. That is beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, flamethrowers all around the world. This is No Smack with Dr. Tasha Mac. Again, the event is next Saturday, June 20th. We want all the men to tap in. Come step your game up, red carpet event. We want y'all to be there. We want y'all to be there, have a good time. Let's do it. Thank y'all for tapping in with us.